television, Tints TV. I'm your host, Robert Lostal I, and today we have a very special episode of television. We have a special guest today, Melodie Hilton from Napa Valley Wine Train. We also have Lori Saffier here, a musician right here in the Napa Valley area, in American Canyon area. And first I was going to tell you about 2 years ago, I know it's Chinese New Year right now, so Chinese New Year, and 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, I was over in Saigon, right? So it's Vietnam New Year's, they call it Tet. So I'm over there at the airport, right? And I'm coming back to the United States. So I was wearing I'm at the airport, been there for a couple months, coming back. So I'm wearing a black suit, black tie, black hat, black Ray-Bans, hard to imagine. Well, kind of like this. So had on these dark glasses, right? And I'm getting on the plane, and I tell them my neck is fused down 2 inches, got titanium screw, 2 clavicle sectionals, they cut out this bone, titanium screw, my hip bone taken out. And my Vietnamese is a little rusty, right? So the 2 girls, the stewardess, they thought I said, I'm blind, right? So one girl, she grabs this arm, the other girl grabs this arm, they grab my suitcases, and they're all lead me all the way to the gate, past everybody else that's waiting in line, right? Like, Tai Phi, Tai Chai, Goody Tang. They're like, turn right, turn left, go straight ahead. And they take me onto the plane. I'm the only guy in there. And they're like, Mam Bao, Mam Noi, come on in, please have a seat, put on my seatbelt. They put in my bags over the overhead compartment, in the storage bin. And they're loaded up with 15 cartons of cigarettes from my uncle, right? Some carved statues, they're real heavy. They load this stuff up in there, so I'm just gonna, okay, I can just milk this all the way to San Francisco, right? So I'm just gonna roll my head, do my best Stevie Wonder, I was like, okay, I was like, okay, I can carry my bags and my luggage, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, it's about a 32-hour flight, right? So I'm coming into Taipei, Taiwan, right? And come in there, get off Vietnam Airlines, and got a couple hour layover. I'm getting on to China Airlines, right? So I get on the plane, and the girls are like, no way, I ain't playing this. They're like, you carry your own bags, I was like, come on, the plane, They're like, nah. So it didn't work, so I got in this, I thought it would work all the way to the limousine back to Napa, so that didn't work. But I'm sitting on the plane, this guy next to me, he's reading his notes, and I said, where are you from? And he said, Napa, and I'm like, nah, we're on the other side of the planet, not from Napa, right? Turns out it's Brian, he's right over here at Happy Meals, right around the corner, over by Butter Creek Bakery, on the other side of the planet. And this guy's like, yeah, I got the shop right over there. So I didn't join any Mile High Club with China Airlines. They kicked me out to grab your own bags, stuff like that. And, Artie Party, he was saying, hey, you got to get some football food ready for the Super Bowl the other day, right? So I'm like, he said, get some crackers that are shaped like footballs and stuff, food shaped like football. So I got those what do they call it, goldfish crackers, and I just bit the tails off, put them back in the bowl. Everybody liked them. They looked just like footballs. Everybody thought it was pretty cool, So thanks, shout out to Art Party, thanks Home Skillet, and Hollywood Homegirl, and Savvy Salsa, I think is the girl that was telling us about the food. And our first guest today is going to be Melodie Hilton. And Melodie, thanks for coming on our show.
Right on, thank you.
I'll scoot in a little closer here. So.
Just so you know, on the wine train, we don't bite off the
don't bite off the crackers?
No. You do your own.
Fresh?
Yeah. Just wanted to throw that out there.
So what is your actual title on the Napa Valley Wine Train? Is it public relations? Is it events coordinator? Or?
I'm actually the director of marketing and PR, public relations.
All right, marketing
and
PR.
That's my official title, right.
Nice. And what does that entail? Is that?
You know what? It's a great job. It's a very joyful job, so it entails a lot of really fun stuff. I do all the marketing, so that means all the advertising, online, offline, billboards, signs. You saw the new signs that went up that came from my department. We do all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that great stuff. We host all the journalists, bloggers, people like yourself, television personalities. Emphasis on personality here, but just saying. And then we do some events and new products and some things like that too. So.
Do you guys have any package deals where like I chauffeured limos for 20 years, where a limousine will pull up and you'll put them on the wine train and maybe set them up with a plane and Is there like a package deal that you work out, or somebody else does that?
No, we do that. Most of them, our department does that. Most of them are really local, so the packages are like with the Hilton Garden Inn.
Really?
So anybody who wants to come and spend the night at the Hilton Garden Inn can go on the wine train and also maybe visit 6 wineries and get the tastings free. It's all bundled together in one price.
Wow, okay.
We do the Hilton Garden Inn, we do the Marriott, we've got one with the Westin. Packages include balloons and wine tasting, and then of course on the train we have 5 winery tours that we do. That if you ride the train, you can also do a winery tour.
Now, is a lot of your customers or your clients are from Europe, or are they local that people are just visiting them and they want to take them on a trip, or what is it, the percentage? You know?
We are like almost every other California destination. California destinations are supported by Californians. We love our state. So 60% of our guests are Californians. 10% are international. Of that 10%, probably 20% are Japanese. So we have a very strong international presence. Besides international in California, our main states are Florida, Texas, and New York, with the Midwest making a pretty big showing too, because they love train.
Wow. So now when the train goes up, I'm sure a lot of people want to know, when the train goes all the way, it goes up to Calistoga?
No, it goes to St. Helena. The
St.
tracks
Helena?
between St. Helena
Okay.
and Calistoga were lost a number of years ago.
Okay, I haven't ridden on it for a while. But now when it goes up, do they take the engine off and turn it around on one of them swivel tracks and then feed it to the back and then come back?
Cool.
Or how do they do that? I mean,
No, we do
you
it.
guys drive backwards? Or?
Yeah, kind of. Actually, you're close. So we take 2 engines up, one pointing north, one pointing south.
Yeah.
We drive the train north. Then we do what's called a head and run round, where we uncouple and we come around to the other side, and then we pull it back down.
Oh,
So we have to have one pointing this way and one pointing this way, because at night we need a headlight on each side.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, and you run how many times a day? 3? Is it still 3?
No, it's 2
It's 2
mostly.
now?
Yeah, lunch and dinner.
They don't do that 9 o'clock coming
Yeah,
back
we
at 9
haven't done
o'clock
lunch
one?
for like 5 years.
Yeah. And you can't see as much anyway, probably just the Christmas lights around. And what times of years, do you run all year round? Or?
Yep,
Really?
all year round. March through December, 7 days a week for lunch. In January and February, we only run on the weekends, and the reason is because this train is so old that they do not make new parts for it. So we have to take it offline and refurbish it and put in new stuff and take everything apart, take the crumbs out, put it back together.
And do you have is there any special? Is it the same price all year round, or is there special rates? You get Christmas. I went on the Christmas rate.
Locals have a special rate. Did you know that?
Oh, is that right? I didn't know. I should have told them, hey, I'm from.
Yeah, of course.
I should have told them.
Absolutely. I'm surprised we didn't notice. So locals can ride for $84 for the Gourmet Express.
I was going to ask you about that.
$74 for the Silverado car. So those 2 package experiences have a very good locals discount.
That's what I was just thinking about Gourmet. Now, do you have dinner on board there? Is it
great dinner?
really?
We usually
Have a chef and everybody right on board.
He cooks right on board, and he does it with what's called a la menu, because he's got kind of a French thing going on.
Right.
So that means that all the food comes on the train, and then you sit down and you look at your menu. And I brought you a menu if you want to look at it.
Nice.
And then you can choose what you would like. There's
Wow.
beef, and usually a special of the day, and fish. And here we go. Here's that. So it's
Cool.
pretty nice.
And wine? Wine glass?
One glass is included with your package when you book your whichever one you're going to do, the Gourmet Express or the Silverado car, the Stodome. But beyond that, then you got
Wow.
wine.
And you guys still, I took the Christmas with my son, the Christmas
Santa
train.
train.
Yeah, the Santa train, they went to Yountville and back. It's a short run,
Yeah.
and Santa Claus on. Would you still do that?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, we do that probably about 4 weeks from the end of after Thanksgiving
Right.
all the way through up until about Christmas, and it's packed. I mean, kids love trains. There's no better unique Christmas experience around. I mean, because if you think about it, most Christmas experiences are in malls.
Right.
And then we have like a great Santa and characters and 400 screaming children. They're very excited. We give them sugar, send them back home with their parents. Yeah.
And what else can you tell us about wine training?
I think
Elaborate
the
on
things that the locals would be.
Tell us something that nobody knows about the wine train. Is there any secrets that there's a ghost on board? I don't know.
I've heard people
What is
say
something that not
that.
very many people know about on the wine train that you can tell us?
What I think is kind of interesting is the history. So these tracks were put in 1864. We have one of the best collections of antique rail cars in the nation that are actually still used. I mean, most of them are in museums, and you pay the $12.50, and you get to look at them, but you don't get to ride on them. So
Right.
this collection of 1915 and 1917 rail cars is authentic. It's some of the earliest electrical lighting and rail transportation. And it's just this wonderful historic asset right here in Napa. And I think most people don't recognize the fact that there are people that come from all over the world to see these great antique rail cars.
Now, does it work on, is it steam, electric, is it diesel? How does it power?
It's diesel, but it's kind of like today's Prius, because those old engines, those old diesel engines actually were electrical generators.
Oh, really?
That's what runs the wheels is electricity.
Oh.
So the diesel generators create about 600 volts of electricity, and that's what powers us up
I
now.
didn't know that.
The power plants, essentially, those old locomotives are.
That's pretty wild. I didn't even know that. So, what other unusual things about wine train that people, or that you can elaborate? Tell us about the wine train.
Well, there's lots of fun stuff, like besides the winery tours, there's murder mystery, which is really campy,
Really?
very fun. Yes, you have to come. Should
I didn't
try
know
that.
that, yeah.
You would like that.
Yeah.
And people dress up and they get in character,
That'd be
and
fun.
it's chaos, and you have to pay attention to the clues. And then there's romance, and we
That'd be
have
exciting.
a moonlight dinner that we do once a month in the Vista Dome when the full moon comes up and it kind of lights the vineyards all silver. Very romantical.
Wow.
And I think, some of the other things that people don't recognize is that we're a very large employer in Napa. We have probably, at the height of the season, about 150 employees. So we contribute a pretty significant amount to, payroll and services in the community. We're not the biggest employer because government, education, hospitals, those are our dominant
Right.
industries in Napa. But from a tourism standpoint, we're one of the top 10 most visited attractions. I hesitate to use that word. Destination is really more of what we are. And we have 150 employees, so that's a lot of beans on a lot of local
That
tables.
is. What year did you guys get started here? I know it's been around for a while. I mean, since I can remember.
1989.
Was it 1989?
Yeah, so 24 years this year,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
That's a while.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
So if I got on there, could I be like an honorary engineer and toot the whistle or something sometime?
Kind of can. We actually have a package where you can ride in the locomotives.
Really?
Yeah, people who love trains are so serious about it.
Oh, yeah.
They actually have a name for themselves. You know what it is? They call themselves foamers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, can you imagine why?
No.
It's serious. They say that they see the trains go by and they foam it. Isn't it great?
I like that.
So we put together a package so that people could ride the locomotives because these people who come that love trains are serious about them. So.
I remember I worked in 86, just before I started doing the limousines. I did cashiered for about 10 years before that. I worked at Napa State Hospital in the 70s. And I was at Long's, just opened up, right? And it's 1985. I think, I started working there, cashier 85. Worked in Avila Beach grocery, cashier 81. And Clark's Drugs, 84, 85, and then up here. And the guy was a train fanatic, the Marsh, the manager at the time, right? He had like 4 aisles, or two aisles, but both sides, all the way down, of trains. He had the Napa Valley wine train, which you can buy, right?
You can buy that.
You can buy the Napa Valley wine train. You can own your own.
You can own your own,
Yeah.
indeed. Yep, and our wine train happens to be family owned, so there's a family who actually does own that train. So,
Really?
yeah. Are you familiar with Vincent DiDomenico? Does that name ring any bells to you?
Sounds familiar.
So, Bryce Cerrone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and Ghirardelli
Oh,
chocolate.
that's right, yeah.
That's who was the visionary and the
Oh,
founder
yeah,
behind it.
I had forgotten
Yeah.
that little fact. I'd heard about that.
Sadly, he passed
he
in
did.
07, but his family
Condolences.
still owns
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no, the train was
Yeah.
sad.
So he started from the little train in the city that goes up the climb up the mountain for the
He's using the trolleys for marketing.
Yeah,
He just went to buy his own big old train.
go from Rice driving up the mountain in his little car there, and then to the big train.
To the big train, indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I have another guest coming on our show today, and her name is Lori Saffier. She's going to perform a song. Okay, maybe we can turn on her mic for her. Turn on her microphone. Julio, can you turn on that microphone for me real quick? And we're going to go ahead and she's going to perform a song, and it's called. The name of the song is. What's the name of the song again, Lori?
I want to touch you.
I Want to Touch You.
That all night.
She keeps telling me all night. It's called I Want to Touch You, and it's going to be performed live right here on television by Lori Saffier.
Ready? Here we go.
touch you. I wanna touch you. I wanna touch you. And make you mine. Let's start something new. I wanna start something new. Something beautiful between me and you. And honey, drip from my lips to yours. Savor the sweetness. Let it open your closed doors. Drink of my nectar. Drink it down hungry. You'll never thirst again. Once you drink of me. Boy, I just wanna touch you. I wanna touch you. Just one touch from me. Satisfaction guaranteed. Let me touch you. Let me touch you. Just wanna touch you. And make you mine. Just wanna touch you. I wanna make you mine. That's a lovely song. Lovely song. Did you write that?
I wrote that
You
song.
wrote that yourself?
I did.
And how did you write that?
I wrote this song because there's a friend of mine who, and I'm going to say it how he said it. Lori, I just like you. I just want to touch you. And I kept thinking about those words. And so I wrote a song.
How did you get started writing all these songs?
You know what? I've been playing guitar for 2 years. And so for my first 5 months, I couldn't do anything, and I would cry every time I tried because it wasn't happening for me. And so one day, I sat on the side of my bed, and I just started praying, and I'm like, God, I need your help because I'm like paying all this money for my guitar lessons. I have a fabulous guitar teacher.
Right.
And I went to bed one night, couldn't sleep, and I was hearing this music in my head and hearing lyrics in my head. And that was 2 Aprils ago, or April before last. And that's when it started for me. And I played guitar for 11 hours, gave birth to the first song, and I write probably 2 to 3 songs a week.
Did you go and get a tape recorder so when you dream it, you can be like, hey, these are the lyrics, this is how the tune
Well,
goes.
you know, I have
So don't lose it right there.
I have an interesting way. I kind of surrounded by guitars, and I keep paper and pen with me. So at the head of my bed, I have a little journal and a pen, and often before I do anything else in the morning, I'm grabbing a guitar and writing down stuff, and I do record.
That's creative. What other things you do that are creative? You do like any music? I mean, you do art or theater or any other dance? You know what I mean? Like any kind of other creative things?
I
Okay.
make jewelry.
That's
I've
creative.
done metal sculpture. I paint. I'm an avid gardener.
Wow.
I talk to people.
Yeah.
Hang out with
That's
people I
artistic.
don't know.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
That's artistic.
Yeah, it is. There's a skill to that.
And where did you grow up at? Did you grow up in California or?
I did. I grew up in San Francisco, actually,
Oh, okay.
in the Haight-Ashbury in the 60s,
Wow.
in the Fillmore district as well.
And my parents wouldn't let me go over there in the 60s. You're only 13.
It was fun.
No, you're only like 12. I was only 12.
It was
Boy, howdy. That's so. You had a friend might come on and play some guitar too, but he couldn't make it today. So maybe next time, we'll have him on the show and stuff. So, how did you get started then? Just,
I'm sure you can't tell. You probably think I'm 29, but that's not the case. My eldest daughter is 30. But as I was aging ever so gracefully, I thought that I would pick up the guitar as a hobby. I did not anticipate that I would fall in love with it. And I'm absolutely in love with it. I play every day. I have to play. So that's how I started. I thought it would just be this fun thing. And it's really becoming my life, actually.
are there any other instruments that you play, or
Nope,
just the guitar?
just the guitar.
And how many guitars do you have now?
What a question. Such a loaded
I
question.
bet there's a whole bunch. Huh? Really? Are you kidding?
What?
16 guitars.
I didn't say that. Did you
Okay.
really say that? That would be
No.
ridiculous for someone who's only played 2 years. I would never say that.
That'd be exciting. I gave away my guitar, my electric bass. I have 2 violins and a 4-string banjo, and gave away my keyboards, harmonica, mandolin, and that's about it. That's enough.
So you understand.
Yeah, I love music. Everybody likes music, right? I think
I hope so.
very much.
See, I call them my wooden children. This is Rosemary. They all have names.
Oh, I thought it's Tyler. No, I was just kidding.
Her name is Rosemary Liliana Taylor. I go to bed with this guitar, literally in the same bed.
Wow, it's a nice guitar too. I like it.
Yeah, I like her too.
It sounds really clean too. It's like loud. I have this Fender banjo, and it's so loud. It sounds like it's electric, but it's just an acoustic banjo.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a Fender, which is a good brand name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But it's loud. It's a 4-string. I could play maybe one song on 5-string, not very much on 5-strings, harder, I think.
Why did you bring it today?
I bought this car. From this guy, okay, Sammy, and it was like a couple months ago, and he still hasn't had, the lady had died, so they still don't have the title for the car yet, so I had to walk here. So I was like, okay, I'm not carrying all this stuff. But I would bring the harmonica once in a while, bring it in, leave it in the drawer, if I need it or something like that. And anybody you want to say hi to, or any relatives or family or friends or enemies?
Enemies are important. They help shape your personality.
That's true.
I would like to say hi to Dave Land, my guitar teacher. I don't know how I lived without him. And a shout out to Danny White, the owner of Good Stuff's Guitars, and Martinez. He's the reason I'm singing. He heard me 2 years ago and put me down for a blues jam, and he's the reason I'm singing.
Wow, I thought there was some blues music on the show sometime. I'll bring out my harmonica and blues harp in the key of C or something.
We can do
Have a
that.
jam over here sometimes. We've probably got about 4 minutes left or so to talk about. Do you have any people you want to shout out to, or anything you like to say, or any family or friends you want to say hi to, or kids?
I know everybody. Yeah, my kids. Everybody at the office, of course, they're probably watching.
Yeah, your boss, you might get,
Yeah, I did not go home. I am really still working. Yeah,
You're on the clock, I know that.
Yeah, and I just want to say how much I enjoyed your song.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's really
Thank
nice.
you so much.
Nice to share the couch with you.
Yeah, fun.
Fun how people come together.
I gotta say, last week I said, last week or the week before? Last week I said I did shout out to some of my kids, and then they said, you have to do it again, right? So I'm gonna say Robert Lewis Tyler the first, right? Me, right? So I said shout outs to Robert Lewis Tyler the second, Robert Lewis Tyler the third, Emily, Derek, Ani, and it's a 30-minute show, so that's pretty good enough for shout outs, right? We'll do the rest next week or something.
Well, you could be like
Boy,
the
howdy.
Academy Awards last night, and I'd like to thank. There's like this list that goes on.
To thank God, and God bless you and yours, and everybody here. Yeah, and they're like, oh, they're giving me the sign, they're on the awards. They're giving me the wrap it up sign, or something, and they say, we gotta wrap this up. On all our guests, we have a live studio audience today, and our guests in the live studio audience today are getting a new car, and this is a new car for all of our live studio audience today we're bringing in, and we got a couple minutes left. There's something no one's ever seen before, and no one will ever see again. See that? No one will ever see. So that's unusual. That never happened before on TV. And the other show else we have. Oh yeah, I have some party gifts that we were part way. I got autograph picture for you, of me, but don't sell it on eBay. I know it's worth a lot of money, and you can use it for target practice, and also I have one for Lori. I brought this.
Thank you so
They're
kindly.
very expensive, so don't lose them. And we also got every week we do in February we have a picture. Vivica Fox this week. It's different artists every week for Black History Month. And we're going to also say that guest of the television show, Staying in Abandoned Buildings, transportation provided by horseback, wardrobe by Tyler Mall, and special thank to our guests today, Melodie Hilton, Lori Saffier, and God bless you and yours. And we got about 1 minute, and I want to say it's my girlfriend's birthday today, Mary. It's her birthday, so happy 17th. No, just kidding. And my wife's watching, just kidding. Stop calling me, right? And happy birthday, Cherie. It's today's Cherie's birthday. And, like I say, a shout out to Slapdash and Sal the Flower Guy. Sal brought these flowers in, and these flowers are from Sal the Flower Guy. He delivered me here in a presidential bulletproof Mercedes today. The glass was like this thick on the windows, and he drove me here to the studio in a presidential car. It's like 16,000 pound Mercedes-Benz bulletproof. The windows were so thick, and he brought these flowers in every week, and he supplies the flowers. So we're probably about out of time, and we still have a minute. Any more shout outs?
Well, I have a question. Do you have any darts in that drawer?
I do. I have a gun in here, actually. I think we should have the right to arm bearers, because if they're breaking in cars and picnic baskets, they need to be armed as well. They need a gun, or something. And I think we have the right to bear arms. I have my gun ready. No, just kidding. I sold all my guns. There's none in the studio. Okay, we'll be waiting. The SWAT team's out front.
Yeah, when you're on meds, you're not supposed to have one.
Melodie Hilton says, when you're on meds, you shouldn't have a gun in your drawer. I said, it's okay, I'm totally off my meds right now.